Alright, so this is Jade Munoz. I wanted to do my video about my breast reduction. Got a dog coming up here. Come here. Come on. Come here. Hey. You gonna help me? Okay. So, I wanted to say that today is Tuesday. I got my surgery, not this last Friday, but the Friday before that. So I'm like a week and a half post-op. I feel really great. I'm going back to work on Saturday to my hair salon, Dolce Vita Salon. Come visit me. But I wanted to make a video about my surgery because there's a few videos out there on the internet that are pretty helpful, but none of them, I don't know, some of them make me feel at ease, or they made me feel at ease before the surgery. Some of them I feel like I didn't get enough information. And having a surgery like that is a really big choice. It's a big decision. I've been sitting on that since I was maybe 12 when I found out that you could reduce the size of your chest. That was like, I was like, are you serious? So I wanted it for so long. So it was a no-brainer when it came time to do it. I had no hesitations, but I know that some people would and some people do, so this is my video. I'm going to at some point insert footage from, you know, me being in the surgery center with anesthesia and all of that. I thought first I'd start with my experience going in, and then I'll show you the clips, and then I'll kind of answer some questions that I get or that I had before the surgery. So before the surgery, I was really nervous. I've never ever had surgery before. I've never broken anything. Like, I steer clear of pain in every way that I can. So I was really nervous, really stressed out, but it wasn't gonna stop me from getting the surgery. So the day before, I was like, you know what will help me out? Getting some shirts. I went to Target that night and I bought 2 shirts that were gonna fit me after the surgery. I just assumed a small because right now we're a medium. So I bought 2 shirts that were small and I was like, it's a go, we're doing this. And then my surgery the next day was gonna be at 7:15. But I had to arrive there at 6 o'clock, 6 in the morning. So that night I was really, you know, worried, and I was like, oh my God, am I not gonna sleep? I passed out. I woke up at 4:45 that morning with my best friend sleeping right over there on the couch. And my sister came with us to the surgery center, so we all got up in the early morning. I couldn't eat, actually. I was fasted from, they told me midnight, but I hadn't eaten since maybe 6 p.m. that day because I was just so nervous. But anyway, I woke up starving. So Jewel and Alex, they ate, and then we left to the surgery center. We got there, I signed in, and they put this little identification, you know, hospital band thing on me. And I was like, oh my God, it's real. It's happening right now. So, anyway, we go in, and they have you pee in a cup to make sure you're not pregnant, because obviously if you're pregnant, you can't do the surgery. So we did that. We were all good to go, and then we were sent over to the little, I don't know, gurney hospital bed. And that's where I sat for a couple minutes, and they were like, okay, we're gonna do the IV now. If anyone knows me, knows that I do not like needles. I don't like, which is weird, you know, I have piercings, I got like, you know, some tattoos and stuff. I don't like them separate, like alone. Like tattoos, I'm good. Piercings, I get a little scared, but I do them anyways. But there's something about like a needle just going into your body and like not coming out the other side that kind of freaks me out, I guess. But the nurse said, okay, we're gonna put it in, and she, you know, wrapped this super tight band around me, I guess to restrict the circulation, and she put the needle in my hand, and I just like almost passed out. I was like, ugh. And she was like, okay, don't tense up, and I guess I was just really tense, and she missed. My fault completely. And my blood pressure dropped 20, like from, it was like 80, and then it went to like 60. I was almost like out. My head was light. I was like, oh, I'm gonna die. I'm a weenie about needles. Anyway, so she had to take it out, and then she had to put it in my arm. Here, I was actually better. I was kind of reeling still from this situation. And honestly, I can tell you right now, that was the worst part. This whole entire experience from start to finish, the worst part was the IV. Who knew? But, so they put the IV in, and you'll see later in the clips, I just would not shut up about it, but I'm gonna tell you now since it's relevant. I was so tired from waking up so early and not sleeping and not eating, that the anesthesiologist had already talked to me, but they hadn't administered the anesthesia yet. They had just given me this little vial, and it wasn't even my anesthesiologist, it was his assistant, so I know she wasn't the one that knocked me out. And she said, okay, I'm gonna put this in here, it's gonna kind of make you feel like you had a beer. And I was like, okay. But I was really sleepy, so she gave that to me, and I, you know, we all know alcohol makes you sleepy, so I was kind of like, man, I think I could go for a nap right now before we start, because we were running a couple minutes behind. And I closed my eyes, and I woke up, and I was out of surgery. Like, I'll insert the footage. It's pretty embarrassing. I was up at 4:30, so I was like, you know what, before they come, I was gonna take a nap.
Alright, so we just knock out. That's perfect though, you know what? That nap helped you go. She's so sweet.
I just remember almost passing out when they put the IV.
Oh, whoa. You have trouble with IV?
She doesn't like blood or like needle stuff. So.
Oh, I haven't had anything to compare to except like
Okay,
cutting myself in the shower. Not like, I'm not emo.
That hurts like super bad.
No, I have like a giant scar on my butt cheek.
Oh my god, what did you do?
I was doing laundry with my underwear on.
In the shower?
I got out the shower and I did my laundry.
Okay.
And I was like, that'll go away. No, I still have a giant scar.
I'm dead. I really can't. I know. I was like in the shower doing your laundry.
What can I eat?
What can you eat or when?
What?
Oh,
And when?
Like, you can eat now, but you need to eat really lightly. Okay? Crackers, soup, Jello. Just want you to start. Yeah, no greasy, no fried, no spicy today. Anything that looks like it takes a lot to chew and swallow is going to be really difficult to digest.
What?
Panera.
Oh no, you can't have Panera.
She just looked at her frontal lobe. I'm out. That was a supreme eye roll. Okay, if you need me, call me.
Okay,
all right?
thanks.
Yes.
But yeah, so that whole time I didn't feel any pain yet. Like I was kind of maybe expecting. I was watching videos and kind of reading people's experiences, and some of them would say like, oh, I woke up and my chest was in pain. You know, felt like, some people said like fire on their chest. If I'm being completely honest, like I felt nothing. I had no pain. So we left there. We came to my house really quick to pick up my dog over there, Cowie. There she is, that one. We came here to pick up my dog. I was gonna stay with Michael and Alex and their family because someone's always home, and at my house, everyone's always in and out, and it would just be easier to stay with them. So thank you guys for everything, by the way. I came in to the room. I was staying in Michael's room, and he'd set it up for me with, you know, a pillow, you know, where you normally put pillows, and then 2 for my arms, and a note. And then pretty sure the note said, I'll put in a picture of it probably, but it said, I love you so much, and he crossed out so, and he put too much, and he said, you did great. He was at work, so I didn't see him until later. But that day I was exhausted. I still had the anesthesia kind of like in my body, so I slept and I slept and I slept. They prescribed me Percocet for the pain, and then they told me after I could use Tylenol once, you know, I didn't feel like I needed the Percocet anymore. And so I didn't feel any pain, and I just figured like it's probably the anesthesia, probably the drugs. So I just continued to take the Percocet every 6 hours, not because I was in pain, but because I am a chicken and I didn't want to feel pain. So it ended up that I never felt pain, and then I said, you know what, maybe I probably shouldn't be taking these highly addictive drugs if I'm not in pain. So I switched from that to Tylenol just for swelling purposes, and you know, I was still scared. I was like, oh my god, what if it starts hurting? So I guess the biggest takeaway from this for me was that it didn't hurt at all. It was awesome. So I can go into now kind of those questions that you might have about the surgery, or that I had about the surgery myself. So the first one being, did it hurt? Like I said, like, I didn't have any pain. The most pain that I can think of is that, like, they're really swollen right now. They're a lot smaller, like crazy small, but they're a little swollen right now, so they're kind of plump and they're bruised. The bruising makes the rest of my breast kind of tender, so like up here it doesn't hurt per se, but you definitely, it's tender, and what do you expect? But no pain, nothing that was like, oh my god, I'm in so much pain, I'm dying, none of that. It was super, like, I feel like people who get their wisdom teeth taken out probably have a lot more pain than I did. The other thing is the cost. So the cost is going to vary based on, you know, what state you're in and which doctor you go to, and how much time it's going to take. So my doctor, he told me the surgery would be done in 2.5 hours, and that he was going to charge $6,800. And so the breakdown of that was that $1,000 of it was for anesthesia. I think a certain percentage of that goes to the surgery center that they perform the surgery in, and then he takes away some of that. That is actually on the lower end of the price scale when it comes to breast reductions. Breast reductions can be really expensive, like 12 grand. I have not heard of them ever going under what I paid personally. I went to Dr. Kendall Peters at the CPRS in Orlando, Center for Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery, and he was amazing. It was so professional, so great, and if you really want to do it, I would recommend looking into doing a care credit of some sort and paying it monthly, because it will change your life. Next, how long does it take to heal? So to heal completely, like 4 to 6 weeks. I can't work out, I can't swim, I can't do anything strenuous. I can't lift heavy weights for about 6 weeks. But what can I do? I can go back to work on Saturday. Because, I mean, I can lift my arms. I think I can do hair. I'll be fine. Because I'm not hurting. I can shower. They let me shower. They said 2 days after. I was a little scared, being honest. I did 3 days. Just because I'm a scaredy cat. But, it wasn't painful at all. Like I said, it was tender. At the time, I really couldn't move, so you kind of just have to soap up and let the water hit you and kind of like trickle down. And then later on, as I gained mobility in my arms, obviously I could clean well. It's still tender, so you're just very soft and gentle cleaning. So yeah. And how is the surgery performed? So basically what it is they use this term, it's called the anchor. So when they cut it, they cut around the nipple, down below the breast, and underneath. So it looks like an anchor. And I guess the way it works is they cut this, which they in turn, make up the nipple smaller to match the new size of the breast. But they cut it and they open it this way, and they remove the fat, and kind of like a balloon, like a water balloon, kind of, you squish it, and then you squish it and it kind of goes bloop, like pops up. They kind of do the same thing. So they close it up, push your breast up, and that's what gives you the lift. And then they, sew you back up. You'll look a little bit like Frankenboob for a while, but I swear they look 20 million times better, even all like, I don't want to say scabby because it's kind of gross, but like that than they did before. So another question a lot of people have is scarring. For me personally, like I said, I've been looking into this since I was 12. I fully understood that there's a huge chance that I will have some sort of scars, and that's just the reality of it. Some surgeries, the scarring is not bad, but in the breast reduction case, a lot of times you can't really see the bottom because your breast will sit over them, but here, like under your armpit, generally that kind of stays, and the one around the nipple, not around, right here from the bottom. The nipple, I feel like because of the discoloration, not discoloration, but the dark versus the light, that's not as noticeable. So there is scarring involved, but if you take care of it, if you're using proper materials, your scarring shouldn't be so bad. And the other thing is that there is a chance after doing a breast reduction that you can't breastfeed in the future. That was something that I made peace with a long time ago. Everyone knows I really would love to adopt, but if for whatever reason I, have my own children, I do understand the fact that there's a chance that I may not be able to breastfeed. For me, that wasn't enough of a con for me to not do it. So all in all, I guess the question would be, do I recommend this, and who do I recommend it for? I 100% recommend my surgeon. I will always recommend him. He's amazing. He changed my life. I recommend the surgery for anyone whose breast size hurts their back. It messes with their posture. I'll tell you, I have stood straighter than I've ever stood in my whole entire life. I recommend it to anyone that kind of feels like the way that their chest is on their body makes them uncomfortable. They don't like that kind of attention that they receive. Like, if it makes you uncomfortable and you feel like if you reduce the size of your chest that you'll be happier and you'll be more comfortable in your own body, I 100% recommend. It has only been a week and a half and it has already changed my life. It's changed my view on my person and made me so much more comfortable in my own skin. So Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that I answered any questions that you might have, and feel free to at any point message me on Instagram or on Facebook or wherever I put this, and let me know if you have any other questions, and I would love to answer them for you. Okay? Be blessed.